Sorry, guys. I completely lost my internet. I had to go reset the router. Crashed on all my devices. So maybe I broke the internet. No, it's Mercury retrograde. That's how it goes. Um, Hopefully some people join back in. Hey, Shreya. Hey. Oh my God. My internet completely crashed. It just all my devices. I did not have internet, so I had to go reset the router, and now I'm back. Anyways, yeah. Hopefully, hopefully you enjoyed that. Oh my gosh, what a mess. Hold on one second. Hey, can I call you back? All right. Cool. So, was that satisfactory for you, Shreya? Yeah, Mercury retrograde problems, technological difficulties. What are you gonna do? Who knows? Maybe the internet will just. No, I'm not even gonna say it. I lost you when you were talking about the love bit. Oh, what was I saying about the love bit? I don't remember. I don't even know when exactly it cut out, so I'm not really sure where I was. What was I saying? What was I saying about love? How far did you get anything about the progressed moon? Like, did we talk about? Did you hear that part, or was it already off at that point? Okay, okay, good. We'll go back to the progressed moon then. So, at least this is important. Your progressed moon, you had a progressed new moon in the summer of 2019 in your 12th house. That's huge. I mean, that could have been where a huge spiritual sort of like just essence came in. It could have been a high level of anxiety, a level of like having to surrender. That's something, and like really trust your intuition, and that like kicked off, kind of a spiritual mission. And with Neptune on your north node, like it just there's no coincidence. And you have Mars and your progressed north node together, like and Mars is coming up on your north node. This is like a huge time of like moving towards wherever you're feeling called to, and it can be a high level of creativity because of just an intuitive knowing. So you really want to use that energy. And now you have the progressed moon in your first house. That's a big deal too, because you don't get, the progressed moon takes 28 and a half years. It's kind of like Saturn return in length. And when it crosses your rising, like it kicks off, this new energy. And the progressed moon in Cancer, like very strong. Like this is where you have to trust your gut and really like nurture yourself into a direction, and also trust your intuition. It reminds me of the Chariot card in Tarot very heavily, especially being ruled by the moon with a Cancer rising. Like this is where your intuition is going to guide the way, and you want to, kind of take authority for these steps that you're moving towards right now. So this is a big time of really finding comfort in your identity and taking action for it. Push for what you want, what you need, push for your value, push for what makes you feel good. Do those things and trust that if you feel called to and you just know that something's going to work, you don't necessarily need super concrete backing all the time. Like you're definitely here to trust your intuition and kind of surrender to God's will in a lot of ways. And that progressed moon's making great aspects to your nodes. So, it's like, hey, yeah, pull your practical, real side and your analytical nature, use that to your benefit. But at some point, too, you just can't do it all off like what makes sense. If that makes sense, like sometimes you just know, and you want to trust that. That's going to help you a lot. I did pull up a panel on the left side of the screen. Oh yeah, I put up a dual wheel, so you probably got a little bit of that. But yeah, this is a powerful identification time for you. And Saturn square Pluto, Lots of creativity. Maybe that's where we left off. Um, that's a big deal. Like this is where you can feel like there's creative blocks, but there's not. You got to break through those. And really, it's also revamping. It's like how can you push through blocks that don't let you express what makes you feel happy and really light you up. So this is a time for you to pick a direction and go towards something that you feel intuitively called towards that absolutely makes you feel like you're being 100% not only authentic to yourself, but that you're bringing something really powerful to the table. So definitely a time of decisions. And like I mentioned, Jupiter on your Mars for this month, like you want to know for October, like this is a great time for expanding where you can take action for the future. Like you're going to have energy galore, but it's going to come by taking on responsibilities. Like you said, maybe some more schooling for sure. More schooling for the destiny and how to identify with that. Marinating in thoughts a lot these days. There's so much to think about. So I don't blame you at all. You have a strong Mercury. But your mind can also make you go crazy with Mercury in the 12th house if you just need everything to be linear. So you got to trust your intuition. The more you trust your intuition, the better you're going to feel and the more recognition you'll get. You have a moon in the 10th house. Like it feels good when you get recognized. So you kind of have to put yourself out there to get the recognition that's going to make you feel good. It's going to help you identify and make things happen as well. Is there anyone from the past wanting to show up? Yeah, it's Mercury retrograde in Libra. there's for sure people from the past. That Mercury retrograde's in your 4th house, and Saturn's back in your 7th house. So yeah, there could definitely be some karmic stuff coming back in with relationships. With Saturn back in your 7th retrograde and stationing there. Because Saturn, your Saturn return was a big deal for relationships because Saturn rules Capricorn and that rules your 7th house. So you had to make some big relationship or friendship or partnership or whatever it was decisions over the past few years. And Saturn's like back in there now. Like, okay, did you make those decisions? Maybe somebody comes back up, bringing up some of that like 8th house stuff since Saturn came into your 8th. It's like, all right, do you sure you want to be intimate with this kind of a person again? Or, decisions. So it's about, making smart decisions based on the wisdom and what you've already learned about what is going to bring balance and beauty into your life. And, not settling for less. I feel like you're in a time right now where it's just like you got to make powerful decisions for yourself and not like, not get caught up in old patterns if they didn't work out well. All right. Hopefully that was helpful. I don't have Angie's chart available. So I'm going to need your information. It's probably on the last one, but I lost that stream. Yeah, take your power back, Shreya. Okay. Oh, 414. You were born the same day my mom was born. I remember that. This will be my last reading too. I have to get ready for an actual consultation soon. All right, Angie. April 14th. Oh, that's definitely the wrong date. in the year 198. All right, April 14th, 1980, 2:14 a.m. Sweet. All right, what are we looking at here? You just went through, a lot of your Pluto squares with Pluto in Capricorn. Your Pluto in the ninth too, so you naturally. Oh, it's Pluto in the eighth. I forgot that I have this set up this way without the house systems or without the house numbers on this iPad. But Pluto in the eighth house is, definitely you've been working in the psychic realms, in the occult, trying to get to the bottom of things. You've been investigating the seen and the unseen for a long time. But it's also, it wants people. It wants to merge. It wants to merge with source, but it also wants to merge with people. So it can be very compulsive around needing someone else in life. And the goal here is to go towards the second house of your Aries moon, which is in opposition to that Pluto. So there's this balance point of like really feeling secure and valued and knowing you're sustainable, like you can create your sustainability. So a lot of this life is working through relationships, and it could be through manipulation. You could be manipulating people, you could be manipulated, but it's ultimately to find out who you want to be with that gives you freedom, that lets you create, that lets you sustain on your own. You're kind of like, you have a magnetic ability to attract in help and to attract in people, but you want to make sure that you're sustainable on yourself and you're identifying with the direction that you want to go. So very important. And you have Jupiter making great aspects to your sun. You do have Pluto squaring your sun right now in transit. So that's a big deal, That a lot of it's interesting. I felt called to bring up like relationship stuff with your Pluto because the sun rules your seventh house of relationships, and you also have Mars in your seventh house and your North Node getting opposed by Jupiter for the rest of this year. So there's a lot going on in your seventh house right now. A lot of it deals with, I think, really balancing things out. Like relationships are probably coming up in an intense way, especially with Pluto in your 12th transiting right now, and with Saturn back in your 12th house. There's a big karmic, this is a big karmic moment. Like you're going to have to surrender to where the future is going. And, yeah, it's a let go moment. There's chapters in life that are trying to end, and you want to go with the flow if you can. You are a Sun trine Neptune, so you really want to trust your intuition. You really want to trust like the visions you get. I know you're very clairvoyant. You're very psychic. Make sure that you're paying attention to those messages too. I know you give great messages for people and you do a great service for people, but make sure that you're paying attention to your signs. They're extremely important right now because Saturn came into your first, and it gave you a sense of where you need to work on yourself and identify and make choices for yourself. And now it's back in your seventh. Like, well, did you see those choices? Or are you still? And then that Mercury retrograde is also there too. And Mercury retrograde is going to cross over your Pluto as well. So very important. Very important time. I think for career too. I mean, this is big decisions. Pluto rules your 10th house. So I would just let God, really guide the way. And you kind of have to take your ego out of it about relationships, because Mars in the 7th can definitely have a very, driven identity towards wanting attention in Leo, giving attention. You do have Mars North Node, and Regulus is right there too. So very strong. Your destiny is to be strong. You have a moon in Aries. You are strong. Make sure that you're identifying with that and building it and communicating that as well. Because really Pluto's in this T-square with your sun and your Pluto. So you're finishing up your Pluto square with the sun because you're a sun opposite Pluto. So yeah, this is intense relationship stuff, and it's karmic, whatever's showing up. It's making sure that you are finding your sustainability and balancing things out. And you're meant to be a queen. North Node in Leo, you're meant to be the queen in relationships. Yeah, you have a strong identification of self with the moon in Aries, but you're not meant to just be like the common, one. So make sure that, you're getting all the attention and love you need when it comes to relationships. If not, they're probably not balanced out right. And you probably need to sustain and build something firm. And Saturn in your 12th is definitely, things come to an end. Saturn in the 12th is like the ultimate surrender because things are just closing out and it can feel like, what the? And then Pluto is, going to cross your rising too. So Pluto in the 12th, Pluto crossing your rising over this decade, really around 2026, 2027, 2028, that's going to be a major time in your life. So with Pluto, the best thing to say is like, you got to just go with the flow of transformation, which you're a transformer. You're natally Pluto in the 8th house. So embrace the metamorphosis that's trying to take place. If anything's, big right now, you also have Neptune square your Neptune. So again, there can be anxiety, there can be fogginess. Neptune rules your 2nd house. It can definitely be, interesting things about your own sustainability or about your self-confidence or worth right now, but spiritually will get you through it. Like, spiritually tap into what makes you really feel strong and secure and stable, and let God guide the wheel. I think God's trying to take control right now, which is not, as humans and having egos and drive and desire, that can be very difficult because it's very fated and very karmic for you right now. And then you're going to come into your Uranus opposition, not next year, but in 2023. And, they call the Uranus opposition your midlife crisis. So these decisions and this karmic undoing that's taking place now, if you follow your heart, you will not likely have a crazy Uranus return. And Uranus is your ruling planet. So this is about your identification and your direction and who you are as a person. As long as you're making decisions based on your heart and really finding beauty and balance right now, your Uranus opposition is going to liberate you. But if I'll be honest, if you do things just to settle or just stay in your South Node of Aquarius and just do things to make everybody else feel good, or, just create everything as a win-win and not really get down to brass tacks about what's going to bring you beauty, Uranus will shake things up. So I do want to throw that out there. It'll also be a big T-square because you're a Mars Uranus square. So this brings a lot of eccentricity to you. I mean, you're here to definitely shine in your full uniqueness, and you don't believe what everybody else believes with Uranus in the 9th house, and that's beautiful. So you want to embrace all of that, because that unconventional channeling and knowing that you have is your light, and that Uranus is going to square your Mars, and Mars rules your 3rd house. So it's going to, it's going to shock your mind, coming up at the end of this year, to really zap you into really where you are meant to be. Uranus always wants to take us higher, but it can bring, some really wild, crazy stuff into our life, and high anxiety moments, or feeling like you're crazy and you're not crazy, especially if you're relating to people based on what makes you feel right and what makes you feel like you're illuminating from your heart space. You're here to take center stage when it comes to relationships. You don't want to be, coded around, or, it is about you really identifying and finding really, the ultimate beauty in relationships that lets you be 100% authentic and yourself, and sustainable in that. And you have Uranus on your Chiron right now. So yeah, Uranus is just all over the place for you. And this is showing you how your authenticity and your eccentric nature and the way that you see things different in life is your greatest gift, that you need to find sustainability in, and to know that you're beautiful with a Chiron in Taurus, and to know that, you can build and create and have things, but it's all about self-worth. It's all about knowing that you're worth it. So as long as you're taking the unconventional route to realizing how amazing and beautiful you are, especially in your mind and your communication, you're going to take huge, huge strides here. So that's very important too. And you do have, your Chiron's on your moon right now too. So, gosh, there's so much healing in like crazy, radical, weird ways that's showing up in your life. And it's trying to have you really embrace the guide within you and to not look at yourself as like, anything less than the best. Because your mission's to really be the best. North Node Regulus. Like that's extremely regal, powerful, courageous energy. So it seems like important things to tell you on an uplifting standpoint. Wrong button. Oh, another thing too is you're 6 years, 5.5 years away from your progressed sun burning out your Venus. So very interesting with the other times that's coming up towards the end of this decade. Progressed sun burning out your Venus, one of the biggest relationship aspects is going to happen in your life. For me, when I had it happen, my son was born. I know other people that had it when they were young and their parents got divorced, but what happened was it always makes a change, but it brings one of the most important relationships into your life, one way or another. So like for the person whose parents got a divorce, his mom got a step parent who came in, and that step parent was a huge, crucial part of his life growing up, and an amazing person in his life. So it ended up really helping him in the future by having that stepfather. For me, it was a son, but yeah, that's a big one. The progressed sun burning out your Venus. It's going to bring in something, that's just so meant to be in your life when it comes to relationships. Could be, a variety of different things. Venus does rule your fourth house. So, something that's really, emotionally rooted and secure too, hopefully. Or, it could have something to do with family. So just going to bring that out there. And then your progressed moon is in the 8th house with Pluto. Wow. Yeah, the transformation is big right now. So the metamorphosis, you're graduating levels in life right now. And this is where you have to, weigh things out. But the moon likes to be, when it's progressed, it likes to be in cardinal energy, because this is where you make decisions for what's going to bring beauty and balance into your life. And this is going to be, these next 2 months here especially are going to be really important about the decisions you make on how you're feeling, because Pluto does rule your 10th house. So these are important, like destiny decisions, legacy decisions. What do you really want to be responsible for? It's going to be things that are highlighted. And it's also going to sextile your north node and trine your south node. So you're in a destiny moment here for the next year of like, wow, these are some of the biggest decisions that could feel like you're literally going through hell. Not going to lie, with Pluto and the moon and in the 8th house, but you're also 3 months away from the progressed moon coming into your 9th house. And, this is where things are going to expand. You're going to have a rising up like the Phoenix moment. So whatever changes, these are changes that are karmically meant to be for you. They're going to change your path. They're going to change possibly, it could very well be relationships, because you're now, going more towards that north node. And a lot of big transits are taking place. So, yeah. Good stuff. Let's see what you thought. Oh, good. I'm so glad that you needed to hear that. Good, good, good. Yeah, rain check. Sorry. I know that video totally cut out. Hopefully this video is still going. Looks like it's still going. All right, we're good. You're an angel too. I really appreciate you, Angie. Thanks for always. You've been here with me for a long time. I really appreciate you so much. Yeah, big moments. This is a huge time in your life. It has a lot of beauty. I mean, there's karma that's ending and new cycles beginning. So, embrace where the universe is trying to take you right now, cuz with so much 12th house and moon in the 8th, like if things are just not right and they're trying to go but you're holding on too tight, things will get ripped away. We can't outflex the universe. So, the best advice I could give you is to really trust that things are going to work out, and it might put you in a vulnerable position, but you're able to sustain and get out of anything. Hi, Myrna. I am going to come back on and do these possibly later. I have to run. I have to get ready for a consultation. So I have to wrap these up today. But I will hopefully come back on later. I definitely have a pretty free evening. So if you're around and you're free, please join me then. But I appreciate you stopping by. Sorry, I don't have time. And I'm going to try and get my computer to show my computer screen because for whatever reason it won't. I think I can fix it through OBS and at least use that, but it's better than the iPad. But at least I have that and it works. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for everybody who donated for all the readings. I truly appreciate you. And yeah, I will see you soon. Oh, Shelby, I'm just leaving. Nice to see you, though. I'll catch you all very soon. I hope you have a lovely, lovely Friday. Happy October. It's a big one. So these decisions are very important that we're making, and we want to pay attention because the world is changing this month. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Peace.